Welcome back. This is Mike, and this is episode 2 of the Law of Attraction Odyssey. Today's episode is going to be titled Taking Responsibility for Your Creations. Today's video is going to be about taking responsibility. And what I mean by that is that learning to let go of blaming, and also to just to reclaim your own power to recreate your creations, because what a lot of people struggle with in the law of attraction is that you don't have to blame yourself for the things you've created. I was talking about this in the intro, where there is a tendency for people to use the idea that your thoughts and your feelings create your reality to blame yourself for having things in your life that you don't want to have. And so a part of responsibility in the law of attraction is that you have to learn to use it as in a way that can never lessen you, or use it in a way to try and convince yourself that you've created something bad, there's something wrong with you. And this is where there is the way I understand this is there's a mechanism of your higher self where anytime there is something in your life that you really don't want, and it's possible to blame yourself if you think that you created that, the higher self, your higher self, always has a greater overarching theme, as in it's a thing that your higher self has helped to create in your life so that you can overcome it and that you can transform by passing through it. And so a part of taking responsibility for your creations is that maturity and that ability to have faith in your higher self, that creations in your life you don't want, even if you don't like them, you can't stand them, want them to go away, that they're there for a reason. Fighting with the same thing over and over can give the same thing more and more energy. And law of attraction based in love is just about flow and ease and grace, because that's how your higher self creates. And whenever you get confined in your separate self, the ego self, that's when you sometimes start to try and create more and more so out of fear, and trying to force things to happen to change your reality in the ways you think you want. While in actuality, your higher self has arranged things so that you can traverse them and transform by traveling through them. And so that's what makes law of attraction so powerful, is you learn to take responsibility for your creations. And so this is also a really powerful idea, because this is the way that in the Course in Miracles talks about how to see that, like, the things humanity's created collectively were not originally what the divine intended for humanity. Because with humanity's free will, we decided to create the things we see in the world, like war or environmental destruction, or poverty and hunger. Because as sovereign creators, which is what we were created to be, is what we are, we created these things, and therefore that means it's our responsibility to take responsibility for them, to face them. The things that we've created collectively cannot be transformed until they're faced and we take responsibility for them. And this is also talked a lot about in Paul Selig's books, which I love, and I'll share more of in this series. He talks about how, or the Guides rather, he channels a collective group called the Guides, about how if you create something, then that also means that equally so you have the ability to uncreate it. And whenever we create things in fear, I think I touched on this in the last video, fear perpetuates more fear. And that means when you create as in an energy of feeling separate from your higher self, from love, from all-inclusive unity of life, then that energy has nothing to do other than try to continue and perpetuate itself, because that's its mechanism. That's how it exists. It exists to continue this feeling of anything but here, just always striving for something new, trying to change and be anywhere or anything but the way it is. And that's how fear operates, and fear creates more fear. And so whenever you learn to face your creations in your life, whether it be uncertainty or depression or physical creations like situations, circumstances, jobs, difficult relationships, finance issues, whatever it is, these things that are in your life, you don't blame yourself for them, because they're things that all of humanity shares. It's things that humanity has created collectively. And so if you blame yourself individually for it, then that thing can get locked in your own energy field, because you're trying to own it and you're placing identity in it, defining yourself as it. But if you just see that this is a pattern that all of humanity is sharing, then that just lets the individual blame just evaporate out of your energy field. And so, and at that point, you can take responsibility for it. You can see that, yes, this is not specifically mine. This is a pattern of the collective energy field of humanity. And I'm going to choose to take responsibility for it, because I want to transform it. I want to uncreate it and allow this pattern to be transformed and transmuted by my higher self and by my faith in my own energy field. And so then when you take responsibility for something, that just means you're transmuting it. You're allowing it not to be about yourself. You're allowing it to just freely return to the light through you. And at that point, whenever you learn to uncreate or transmute creations of fear in your energy field or in your life by the power of love and by the power of your higher self, then that clears space where your higher self can begin to orchestrate new manifestations of space and time, and individuals, circumstances, synchronicities, where all of those things you used to define yourself by and be afraid of, you've claimed responsibility for. You've transformed by your faith in your own energy field and in love, and not blaming yourself for them, and just allowing them to be gifts from your higher self, where it's a way for you to cultivate in your earthly self the qualities your higher self wants you to manifest. And so taking responsibility for your creations at first sounds really intimidating and perhaps scary, because that means that you cannot blame anyone else, anything else in your life. However, the rewards for taking responsibility for your creations is just beyond words. It can't be put into words. The contribution that an individual makes to humanity and the world when they face the things in their life that causes them pain and doesn't turn away from them, just allows them to be teachers and doesn't fight with them and try to change them in the old paradigm, law of attraction ideas of trying to create new things to get away from what you don't want. But facing creations and using what's in your life as a platform to transform into and embody the version of yourself that your higher self is trying to invoke out of you. That is the law of attraction that I want to be a proponent of and speak about and share. And it takes a journey to get to a place where these things make sense. That's why this series is called the Law of Attraction Odyssey, because it's such a crazy journey. In my mind, the law of attraction is the same as just the spiritual journey, because everyone wants to be feel and live as a creator of their reality. And it can be really confusing whenever it feels like things just happen to you. And then the teachings say like, oh, it's your fault. However, I hope in this video, I really just helped to hammer home that when bad things happen to you, if you blame yourself for them, then you're just that's really just a horrible thing, because the law of attraction is meant to be a law that always glorifies every person as a creation of the divine, and using it in any other way is just another creation of fear, like I was talking about. So you can even take responsibility for that teaching in your energy field, that old world law of attraction idea of blaming yourself for the things you don't want in your life, forgiving that and allowing that to be transformed by the power of your higher self's energy field. That's real magic. That's what I want this series to be a gateway to, is to transforming that old fear ideas of creation into love ideas of creation, and taking responsibility changes everything. I hope this video brought greater clarity about that pitfall of taking responsibility versus blaming yourself, because it's easy to blame yourself and take responsibility in the same thing. But I hope that it's a bit clearer now that taking responsibility means transmuting and placing higher faith in your higher self and your Christ self, and allowing those things to transform. Because real law of attraction isn't about fighting with the reality you have. It's about transforming what's in front of you by the power of love. And then the more you do that, the more you can learn to embody energetically through your senses the things that you want. With your imagination, with your higher senses. And you can call that reality to you, but only once you have enough space in your energy field created by taking responsibility and transmuting the circumstances of your life, which you are completely and totally in control of. You don't have to fight with them, but you get to choose exactly what they mean to you. And you can see things as an incredible gift from your higher self, or you can see things as a unfortunate circumstance that you inherited from the unconscious collective of humanity. And you get to choose whether it's that or a gift that you get to transform and to allow to return to the light through you. And that's an incredible gift. That's using the law of attraction to manifest heaven on earth. That's what the law of attraction is meant for. It's for expanding consciousness and manifesting the divine plan of the universe through our own experiences of life. And that's what the law of attraction Odyssey is to me. It is using the law of attraction for the greater good of all, and not just for your individual things you want, or just, what you need individually for your physical well-being is important, but beyond just having the things you need, the law of attraction can literally transform the physical world into a heavenly realm. And each of us has the power to do that by using the things in our life to transform and become in a greater resonance with our higher self. So I hope that this video has instilled in you a greater faith in the law of attraction as a tool of love, not a fearful idea. And this has been Mike with the Law of Attraction Odyssey. Thank you for listening, and I'm looking forward to speaking with you again real soon. Goodbye.